I'm with Talib Yaseem, who's Director of the QIPP Programme Office for the North West, and we're here today to talk about what QIPP means. Most people think they've heard of it but don't really know what it means, so Talib is going to talk to us about his work. So, now many people are focusing on the massive changes in the white paper. Are they really going to take any notice of programmes such as QIPP, which may feel too remote from their everyday working lives?
I hope so. I think what we're trying to do in the QIPP programme, both at the regional level and nationally, is provide a range of opportunities for people to improve services locally, but it's for them to own locally. So I think this programme will only work if individual organisations, whether they're PCTs or provider trusts, take the ideas, make them their own, but implement them locally. I think the other great advantage is you've got the collective wisdom of thousands of people supporting QIPP projects, so you're not just reliant on the individual capacity in your organisation, and I think that's one of the great opportunities that we have by doing this coordinated work to support organisations in the North West.
Well, it sounds great, but won't people say that this is really about saving money? We've got to find $3.5 billion of efficiency savings. So isn't that really what the bottom line of QIPP is all about?
There's no hiding the fact the NHS is going to get less money in the future, but everybody who works in a frontline organisation knows that their organisation has to save money year on year. This is asking them to save some more money on top of that, but in addition it's also asking them to make productivity improvements. So can they do more work for the same money or more work for less money? And I think most of us who've worked in frontline services know that there's huge waste still in what we do, and often we don't see it because we're so used to it, and that can be, if you get the wrong outpatient letter or the wrong inpatient letter and it has to be redone, that's waste, and it costs time and money and resources. So by engaging frontline staff in a whole range of things, quality, innovation, productivity and prevention, as well as cash releasing savings, I think there's real opportunities to do things differently while still improving the service to patients.
Well, QIPP's been going for about a year now. So how will it be different with the changes in the white paper, for example, with more power being given to GPs?
I think the real difference will be that hopefully we'll get much more engagement from GPs and people working in primary care. Not just, I think, general practitioners, but community nurses, people who work in practice, to think about how they can do their bit for the QIPP agenda. Because, resources in any economy are finite, and if someone in any part of that economy is not using the resources well, it stops the resources being available for others. So I hope, again, with GPs, we'll get much more local ownership, so that you as the individual patient going to see your GP will also notice a difference in the quality and innovation and prevention available in primary care.
Talking about difference, say in 18 months' time, how will we know it's worked? How will we know QIPP has worked, and what will be different?
I think the thing that we will know that's different is that it'll be the absence of things. So it'll be the absence of organisations in financial difficulties. It'll be the absence of major governance and quality problems. And yet at the same time we'll probably see more patients being treated for less money, patients being treated in different places, and a much more systematic approach to sharing best practice and innovation. So if you're doing something really fantastic in Macclesfield, how do we let people in Whitehaven and Carlisle know? So that's a great idea that they can actually take and use. And I think that is one of the differences with QIPP, that although it has its critics, I think people are trying to connect best practice, innovation, ways of doing things differently, and share it in a way which I think is different to what's happened in the last few years, where often many organisations have become quite insular. They may be successful, but they're not necessarily sharing what they're doing with others, and I think we're moving into a phase where that's going to become really, really important.
And if people have got good ideas locally about how they can change things to fit in with QIPP, how can they let you know?
They can contact us here at the SHA. We have a QIPP email address, quip-pmo@northwest.nhs.uk. They can give us a call. But I think more importantly is to connect with people in their local organisation who are leading QIPP and improvement work. And for many organisations, they might not call it QIPP. It may be part of their continuous improvement programme, their ways of getting more efficient. So we shouldn't use QIPP as something that everyone will understand, and hopefully it will be covered in everyone's annual plan that sets out what they're going to do, how they're going to improve quality, how they're going to improve productivity, how they're going to take waste out of the system, how they're going to engage patients more strongly. So I would encourage people, yes, we'd love to hear from you, but also talk to your local managers and leaders about how you can do things differently.
And finally, the difficult question for E&D practitioners, does QIPP mean that the needs of the more vulnerable and marginalised groups will get ignored?
No, I actually think, if anything, their needs will be examined more closely, because I think in any cost improvement programs, in any change, people should be looking to see what are the potential downsides of doing this. So if we stop providing a service in this community, will access be more restricted to people who are more vulnerable? And I don't think, with the safeguards we've got in the system, with links, with the way local organisations are thinking about quality, with the way they're considering cost improvement plans to make sure that they have been risk assessed by clinicians and that there's clinician engagement, the risks I think are minimal of that happening. Can't guarantee it in every single case, but I think there's much more scrutiny about the changes we're making and how they'll actually be implemented in practice.
Thanks very much.
It's a pleasure.